So, folks, welcome to a morning of joyful singing from with by Ron Greenstein. Um, uh, I'll say no more. I think Ron's going to talk a little bit about his story. Or anyway, Ron, I'll turn it over to you. Looking forward. Ron has been an old friend for golly, at least 30 years. So I've always enjoyed your singing.
Thank you, Betty.
Okay, Ron.
Thanks for coming to host. And as far as his story goes, yeah, I want to give a little bit of background and history as to how I came to be sharing what I want to share with you today. But there's decades of story prior to that even put me in a position to come up with these songs that I want to share with you. And so when I was leaving college, I had a couple of friends who played guitar and sang, and I was really inspired by them, and I wanted to do that. I just thought, gee, I really want to do that. I mean, I was like enthusiastic for wanting to do that. I didn't know exactly how or when I would do it, but um, when I returned to my hometown, Miami, Florida, uh, I got a hold of a guitar that had like three or four strings on it, and I had no idea what to do with it, but I knew I had to do something with it because it was a guitar and I had a voice. So I immediately did the only thing I could do, which is I made up a song to sing, or several. Uh, didn't know how to tune it. I just tuned it so that something came out that sounded, other than lousy. Um, and and I worked up these chords to strum, which is what I'm still doing, is strumming chords to accompany myself. And so I started out composing songs before I ever learned a song. But eventually, uh, I started learning some songs, which was a gradual thing, but it 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 began to give me something to work with when I was going to compose a tune and write a song. And of course, I was also hot to find out what the heck was going on in this world. What was I doing here? What was my purpose? Who was I? What am I supposed to be doing here? And this, of course, pretty quickly led me to Baba, who is in charge of all that and has been, that was for the timing, that was in 1970 when I returned back to Miami. And I won't get into the whole story of how that proceeded, but then uh, I started eventually to meet other Baba people. But it took a while for that to happen. Baba just kind of did it on his own for the most part. Uh, but people started to tell me this and that, and as he wanted to have it unfold. And writing songs was an expression for that. I wrote a couple of songs, and I used to sing those two songs at the Baba meetings and Key Biscayne at Bill and Peggy Stevens' house. The people would say, "Oh, Ron, go ahead and sing." It's the same songs, but they seemed to enjoy them, and I enjoyed uh, performing them. Um, but then I went to the center, and I met people like Jim, Buzz, and Bob. And then in Miami, there was Carl Nelson and Bob Dengeleggy, uh, brothers-in-laws, who sang for us at these Baba meetings that we had, weekly Baba meetings, and all of that was very inspiring. And the inspiration was, uh, I can't go into all the different things that kept me really going for 50 whatever, how many years, 53 years or something like that. uh, enjoying singing to Baba and for Baba and with Baba. And so what I'm going to focus on today is a grouping of songs which are among, I wouldn't say the last songs because I don't know, maybe I'll write songs again, but I haven't really composed songs other than these songs that are collaborations with Baba's own messages. Well, they're attributed to Baba and published here and there, and that I would find. And Baba asked me to see if I could come up with a tune that would enhance the meaning of the message. And it might be a very short message, or it could be, a whole little essay, something more extensive. But it needed to be a song, and I I created these things, and I was happy to sing them. And I used to, hey Odile, Jay Baba. Uh, I I was see the thing about it is one of the reasons I want so happy that this is being recorded is if it comes out good, if I do any, even a halfway decent job of presenting them and singing them and playing them, uh, it'll be there so that other people can have a chance to learn a song that if it appeals to them, because they're not that difficult. They're not. They're melodic, and you could see that you could learn them, and because I sing these songs hundreds and hundreds of times over the last 20 years, uh, and they have been sort of a pursuit or a practice. Maybe the word is sadhana. Uh, that have really had an impact on drawing closer to Baba. And so if anyone is inclined, if they're listening to this now on the recording, to see if you can learn one of these things and take it with you. You don't really need to have a guitar, although if you want to have a guitar, I can get you the chords. Anyhow, I might have more to say about it later in that respect, but I think I'm going to start singing these things. And the first one originates in Baba's great message, The Highest of the High. And I found, if I recall, this one was on the Baba calendar. It was printed on the Baba calendar, just a short message, an extract from that longer message. And I've done probably about 4 or 5 other ones that from that message. That was a rich source of what became songs. So, and quite often these things are like the message in a nutshell. And you'll see what I mean, I think, in this particular song. Know you all that if I am the highest of the high, my role demands that I strip you of all your possessions and wants, consume all your desires, and make you desireless rather than satisfy your desire. Sadhus, saints, yogis and wallis can give you what you want, but I take away your wants, free you from attachments, and liberate you from the bondage of ignorance. I am the one to take, not the one to give what you want or as you want. Yeah, I am the one to take, not the one to give what you want or as you want. Sadhus, saints, yogis and wallies can give you what you want, but I take away your wants, free you from attachments. Oh, I liberate you from the bondage of ignorance. I am the one to take, not the one to give what you want or as you want. I am the one to take, not the one to give what you want or as you want. So that's one of them. You know, I have a lot of fun when I play these and sing these because you know Baba wanted me to give me a sense of the song. Now I don't know if in every case that's what's happening, but if it's not, at least it's fun to sing, and I get to hear it over and over again. If you think about it, some of the things that we find published are powerful little messages that, you know, like that's not a very long message there, but it encapsulates so much. I mean, it's unto itself in a nutshell, an important thing that Baba wanted us to hear. And so if I sing it over and over again, it's getting in there a lot better than if I just reading it through and on to the next thing and the next thing, next thing. So
Very good
that's one
song.
aspect of it.
Very good song.
Mhm. So here's another, I'm not sure where this one came from. I have it written down somewhere, but it's another one where Baba says he's the one. I am the one. So many seek and so few find. No amount of intellect can fathom me. No amount of austerity can attain me. Only when one loves me and loses oneself in me am I found. I am the one. So many seek and so few find. No amount of intellect can fathom me. No amount of austerity can attain me. Only when one loves me and loses oneself in me. Am I found? Short and sweet.
You know, Ron, you're proving over and over again what I've been saying for many, many years, which is that Mayor Baba's words are musical. And when you come across something that doesn't sound musical, if it sounds obtuse and dense and is attributed to Mayor Baba, my first reaction is to not trust the source, because almost in every you're proving it in these beautiful songs how Baba's words lend themselves. They're pure poetry. That's what they are. They're pure poetry, coming from the total, complete source of all art, all music, all dance, all creativity. So you're doing a great job. I've said enough.
Yeah, I gave credit, like on the albums that I created, the two albums, I drew pictures of Baba with Erich. And I think in most cases, I'm guessing that most of these quotes came through Baba spelling it out on the alphabet board or using hand gestures and having Erich interpret them in the way that Baba was satisfied. And of course, Erich had I would say, a silver tongue, and so it could be that his creativity and ear for poetry and Baba's message entered into how there's these inner rhymes and rhythms that lend itself to being a song without the conventional approach to writing a song. You'll hear very few of these have the typical end of the line rhymings, but it doesn't seem to matter, which blows me away. Anyhow, here's one called "Playing with Illusions." I think Baba even gave that title to this short little message here. Suffering comes through ignorance or attachment to illusions. Most people play with illusions like children play with toys. If you get caught up in the ephemeral things of this world and cling to illusory values, suffering is inevitable. Whoa. It is not easy for little children to give up their toys, or they become the victims of a habit which they cannot undo. In the same way, through millions of lives you have got into the habit of playing with illusions. It is difficult for you to get disentangled from them. Yes, suffering comes through ignorance or attachment to illusion.
That motivated him to
Play
pursue a
with
career in journalism, aiming to tell stories from around the world. In 1990, he joined Channel 1 News, where he independently filmed and produced reports from conflict zones such as Myanmar, Somalia, and Rwanda. 5 years later, he joined ABC News, becoming a host for World News Now.
Can we,
In 2001,
we need to
Cooper
have
joined
someone
CNN
mute,
and
please?
quickly became a household name.
Whoa. Thank you. Sorry, Ron.
That's all right. Oh, well. Did it come through? The barrage?
We'll
Oh,
see.
okay.
Now, why don't you do that song again?
Yeah, it's kind of short, isn't it? Okay, yeah, I'll do that one again.
Yeah, do it again.
Maybe I can do even a better job. Okay, let's see what happens here. Suffering comes through ignorance or attachment to illusions. Most people play with illusions like children play with toys. If you get caught up in the ephemeral things of this world, cling to illusory values. Suffering is inevitable. It is not easy for little children to give up their toys, or they become the victims of a habit which they cannot undo. In the same way, through millions of lives you have got into a habit of playing with illusions. It is difficult for you to get disentangled from them. Suffering comes through ignorance or attachment to illusions. Most people play with, most people play with, most people play with illusions like children play with toys. Pretty close.
Woohoo.
Thank you, Ron.
All right, now here's another one. Here's another one that actually is called The Highest of the High. So I'm guessing this one comes from the message, The Highest of the High. So, and then I'm going to take a break and rest and read something and yeah, give my hands a little break too. So this one's called The Highest of the High. Seek me not in order to extricate you from your predicaments, but find me in order to surrender yourself wholeheartedly to my will. Cling to me not for worldly happiness, short-lived comforts, but an enemy through thick and thin, sacrificing your own happiness and comforts at my feet. Let my happiness be your cheer and my comforts be your rest. Do not ask me to bless you with a good job, but desire to serve me more diligently and honestly without expectation of reward. Never beg of me to save your life for the lives of your dear ones. But beg of me to accept you and permit you to lay down your life for me. Never expect me to cure you of your bodily afflictions, but beseech me to cure you of your ignorance. Never stretch out your hands to receive anything from me, but hold them high in praise of me, who you have approached as the highest of the high. Yeah, that was working.
Very nice.
Yeah. All right. You know, sometimes I try to remember, how did I ever come up with that tune, you know? But I guess the process is typically, it's not the same on everyone, or even close to the same necessarily. But a lot of it was just find the little message or excerpt from a message that could be, created into a song, and then just see what comes out of my mouth, out of my wherever it's coming from. And so I listen to it and follow it up like that, like following my nose, to see how it would come out. So that one, I'm not exactly sure how I did that one. I think it was that way. So I'm gonna read. I'm planning to read three little prosums from this particular volume of Steve Klein's called Fire and Smoke. This one is, let's see, what am I doing here? 35, number 35. Okay. After many decades of futile and usually half-hearted effort, I finally found that I was making some spiritual progress. My desires, if not tamed, no longer seemed completely out of control. My behavior, if not beyond reproach, was at least more moderate. And while I could not pretend to have gained perfect equipoise, I tended to react to life's vicissitudes with something close enough to equanimity to enable me to consider the possibility that I was attaining wisdom. Perhaps this has happened to you as well. Spirituality has snuck up on you when you weren't looking, and you realize now that you are not as quick to anger as in your younger days. You can take things in your stride, more or less, and even find yourself putting up with people you would not have tolerated for a moment in the past. Doesn't it feel good to reflect upon the progress that we've made? Too bad I have to tell you this sad and simple truth. We're not getting better. We're simply getting old. We don't have the energy anymore to misbehave with our former gusto. It's not that we've renounced sin. It is just that the opportunity to indulge in it is considerably curtailed when you have to be in bed by 10 and get indigestion if you eat or drink too much. What we mistook for equipoise is really just the inability to get very excited about anything. Our tolerance, no more than the fact that we we're too befuddled, usually, to speak out with the confidence and arrogance of youth. What we called wisdom is simply the gradual lowering of hormone levels in our blood. But don't despair. Maybe we are not as far along this path as we have thought, but as the wild waves of youth subside, as the surface of the pond is stilled, there is the possibility, if we can stay awake, of seeing the beloved's face reflected there more clearly.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's really something.
Yeah, good.
So true.
So, some of these songs that I have made from Baba's sayings and quotes, I like to sing a cappella more than I do with the guitar. And this one is unique, actually. I actually had a Baba lover contact me who had been listening to my songs, probably on the first, maybe both CDs, I can't remember, that I had created of these songs. And he said, I've got this quote that I think you could make a song out of it. Can you try? So this is how it came out. Again, all these are just, it's Baba talking. So keep that in mind. Sometimes I think, why explain anything? Just come, sit down, be here, be quiet, and be in company with Baba. Be in company with Baba. And sometimes I feel like explaining things. I wonder, which is better? What shall we do? Shall we go on explaining things, or shall we be quiet? What shall we do? Shall we go on explaining things, or shall we be quiet? Sometimes I think, why explain anything? Just come, sit down, be here, be quiet, and be in company with Baba. Be in company with Baba. And sometimes I feel like explaining things. Huh, I wonder, which is better? What shall we do? Shall we go on explaining things, or shall we be quiet? What shall we do? Shall we go on explaining things, or shall we be quiet? That's how that one came. It's kind of an interesting thing for Baba to say, isn't it? What should we do? You want to do this or do that? I'm not sure. I like both. Okay.
Well,
Now,
Those are
Baba
Baba's.
said a lot of things about. Oh, did you?
Those are
Comments?
Baba's words.
How about a comment?
Ron, those were Baba's words.
Yeah, I think it was from uh, the book. I'm almost sure the book that the Hopkinsons.
oh, much silence.
Much it's in that.
Okay,
Mhm.
You know,
I like it.
I was just talking to the group and they jotted it down, right?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So there's several songs that several messages that had to do with Baba's silence, and Baba did talk about his silence. It was usually pretty, he didn't. explain that much, but it did to some extent, enough that that's what he wanted to be explained. And this is one of them. Kind of a fun one. Let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah, I got to get the right beat going. If you were to ask me why I do not speak, I would say I am not silent, and that I speak more eloquently through gestures and the alphabet board. And if you were to ask me why I do not talk, I would say mostly for three reasons. Firstly, I feel that through you all I am talking eternally. Secondly, to relieve the boredom of talking incessantly through your forms, I keep silence in my personal physical form. And thirdly, because all talk in itself is idle talk, lectures, messages, statements, discourses of any kind, spiritual or otherwise, imparted through utterances or writings, is just idle talk. We're not acted upon or lived up to. Kind of a fun tune.
Nice. Like that one. Jolly.
Okay, now I'm going to try one. Some of these, this next one I did on the second recordings that I did called Conquer Yourself, or Baba Says Volume 2. And on this one, Greg and Gay Dunn helped me out on this one, because this one is like a rock anthem kind of a song, and I'm going to try it on 4-string guitar and my voice. See if I can put it across and give you the idea. But you'll have to use your imagination for the full sound of it. And this was one of the first ones that I did, because I remember somebody quoted this after the 9/11 incident. So this was right around the time that I was starting to enter into this process of creating songs from Baba's quotes. So it was one of the first ones. Okay, here it is. And Baba sent this one out. This one was from the family letters. Monty included this saying that Baba offered for that first family letter in 1956. Nobody suffers in vain, but true freedom is spiritual freedom, and suffering is a ladder towards it. True freedom is spiritual freedom, and suffering is a ladder towards it. Men unknowingly suffer for God. God knowingly suffers for man. Men unknowingly suffer for God. God knowingly suffers for man. Ain't nobody suffers in vain, for true freedom freedom is spiritual freedom, and suffering is a ladder towards it. True freedom is spiritual freedom, and suffering is a ladder towards it. Men unknowingly suffer for God, and God knowingly suffers for man. Men unknowingly suffer for God, God knowingly suffers for man. Woo!
Nice. I like that one.
Pretty potent
Mhm.
message. Yeah, each message is it's got so much in it. It's just packed with spiritual, a spiritual push. I think it gives you a spiritual push to dwell on these things.
And you sing it with such enthusiasm. You really put a lot of energy. It's great, Ron.
Well, I got to at least do that. All right. Now here's something a little more mellow. All of them are more mellow than that one, I think. This one actually has a source, and that is, I think I probably found this in Lord Mayor. I found a lot of good quotes in Lord Mayor, and this is inspired. Baba was inspired to respond to Ramakrishna, who was the secretary or administrator of the Pune Baba Center. And, Pune is a lot of Baba lovers in Pune. And, Baba lovers are, there's a pretty good assortment of Baba lovers with different ideas about different things. And that was one of the things that Ramakrishna actually was writing to Baba about, how it seems overwhelming, how difficult all these people's criticisms and the problems they were having with what's going on in the center, and are you doing it right, and all that. It was kind of becoming overwhelming for Ramakrishna, and he put that out on the table for Baba, and this is the response that Baba offered. Let's see, I got it. This one's I call a true lover. A true lover has not only to face such situations of storm and stress, thick and thin, but has also to wade through them neck deep, to have the embrace of the beloved of his heart, to have the embrace of the beloved of his heart. A true lover has not only to face such situations of storm and stress, thick and thin, but has also to wade through them neck deep, to have the embrace of the beloved of his heart. Have the embrace of the beloved of his heart. To have the embrace of the beloved of his heart, the beloved of his heart.
Very nice. Hmm.
I remember I came up with that one, I think, just walking around the neighborhood. That was a walking song. Just it's so short, you know. There's not much not much to do, but it came out pretty. I think I like the. Not sure if that's what it was called for with the message, but I think it was.
What a great collection you got of quotes and songs. Wow.
All right, here's another one that I did on that Conquer Yourself CD with Greg and Gay Dunn. Now, I have to, of course, they sang a backup on it with me besides playing their instruments really well. Made a big impact on the song. But I'm going to have to do the backup singers as well as the lead singers on this one. And this one is I've sung this in a lot of different venues because it isn't you know necessarily like a devotional song. It's actually Baba getting on somebody's case and you know really giving a little push to somebody to get going on stuff. You'll see the point that he's making. But it was I think it was probably in Lord Mayhair, just in a conversation, you know, he was asking somebody about how they were doing with a particular weakness that they might have been suffering from. And you'll see what Baba had to say to him. It goes. Don't keep on saying I'm trying, but do it and be it, do it, be it. Or you will become old before your time if you keep on saying I'm trying, and there is no result. There is no result. No result. And once you know the truth, you must not merely try, but do it, do it, do it. Try once or twice, oh, but do not make it a lifelong habit. Don't make it a habit. Don't make it a habit. A habit. Hey. And I don't keep on saying I'm trying, but do it and be it, do it, be it. Or you will become old before your time if you keep on saying I'm trying. But there is no result. There is no result. No result. And once you know the truth, you must not merely try, but do it, do it, do it. Try once or twice, but do not make it a lifelong habit. Yeah, don't make it a habit. Don't make it a habit. A habit.
Great.
Is that fun? That's fun.
Uh-huh.
All right. I think I set up a break on after that one. Yeah. All right. So let me try out another one of these Steve Klein prosums. Uh, number 38, if anybody wants to look it up. Again, this is from Fire and Smoke. Sometimes it's a little embarrassing to admit how many years I've known of Baba, how many of his books I've read, and how much time I've spent with the Mandali. Because every day I react to little things in life in ways that reveal my utter lack of understanding. And yet, I have learned two things. I know that death does not exist, and more importantly, I know that God does.
Hmm. Wow. Could you say that one again, Ron? Could you?
Okay, sure. Sometimes it's a little embarrassing to admit how many years I've known of Baba, how many of his books I've read, and how much time I've spent with the Mandali. Because every day I react to little things in life in ways that reveal my utter lack of understanding. And yet I have learned two things. I know that death does not exist, and more importantly, I know that God does.
Wow. That's great. Hmm.
Okay, here's another a cappella song. I like doing this one a cappella. I remember one time I was at the center in Myrtle Beach in the barn. It was on a community day, and people met in the barn, and this was one of this is what I offered up as a contribution to the program. Man, I don't know. I got something in my throat. Approach me with unfailing faith, love, and devotion, and with a longing to receive my divine love and grace. I would like you to bear in mind that you do not approach me with the thought of any worldly gain. Come to receive my love. Remember that whosoever forms friendship with me loses everything, even the self. And then I give God realization. Approach me with unfailing faith, love, and devotion, and with a longing to receive my divine love and grace. I declare to all of you who approach me, and to those of you who desire to approach me, that you must never come with the desire in your heart that craves for wealth and worldly gain, but only with the fervent longing to give me your all, body, mind, and possessions, with all their attachments. Approach me with unfailing faith, love and devotion, and with a longing to receive my divine love and grace. I must have sung that one 100 times after I got that one going. I used to just sing it every day, several times a day, right after I had,
Wow.
yeah, and because I knew I needed to absorb that one.
Uh-huh.
And here's the other thing that I think Baba suggested to me when once I started to sing these songs, compose the tunes and sing them. He said, by the way, you might want to realize that not only do I want you to, you know, write some tunes and sing some songs, but if you're going to do that, you actually have to live up to them. And by doing, and so keep that in mind. I think that was
Of course.
you know, so it was part of the deal. So here we go. Oh yeah, I think this particular one, I've sent this one out on the internet many times, Baba's message, because I think it's important. The importance of this message is that I hear people ridicule religion a lot. And Baba said that in this time, with drawing the avatar, religion would be ridiculed and put down. And it's being, that's happening significantly. But in this particular message, Baba doesn't necessarily do that, but he differentiates it from the different thing, which is the experience. Well, I don't want to give away the punchline. Baba, let Baba say it for himself. Okay, so this one I think it's found in perhaps Life at its Best. That's my guess. Oh, by the way, this particular one is one I recorded on the first set of songs that I recorded and published under Baba Says. And so that one is on SoundCloud. If you go to SoundCloud, Ron Greenstein, there's 3 albums on there, one of which is Baba Says. So if you want to listen to these songs, well, recorded in the studio. In that particular case, it's just me. It's not a big band sound or something like I got on the second one with some of the other musicians. But this one just has to be nice and clear as to what Baba wants people to understand about religion and stuff. Let's see. The knowledge of truth, the knowledge of truth that one gets from study. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Let me get this right. The knowledge of truth, the knowledge of truth as gained through the established creeds is like the knowledge of a town, the knowledge of a town which one gets by studying it on a map. To see and know the town, one has to take the trouble of actually going there to see and know the town. One has to take the trouble of actually going there. It is one thing. It is one thing merely to see the picture of a cow. Quite a different thing. Quite a different thing to have a real cow and to drink its milk. In the same way, all religious creeds, though useful for the time being, ultimately must be replaced by actual experience, and the inner spiritual path must be traversed before one can realize the infinite truth. Realize the infinite truth. It is one thing. It is one thing merely to see the picture of a cow. Quite a different thing. Yeah, it's quite a different thing to have a real cow and to drink its milk. Sorry, I messed that up a little bit, but
Very good.
yeah, pretty cool idea, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob, I like Bob's sense of humor because I have tended over the years to throw a little humor in, not necessarily where everybody would expect it, but it's kind of important, I think.
Mm.
Okay, let's see, where are we time-wise here? Oh, okay. Okay, here's something. This is another one that I have sent out to the world. I think it's a universal sort of message, and it's important because Baba brings up the law. And what is the law? What is the law about? You know, he creates the law, and then he abides by it. Well, that's in the message. So let's see what he has to say about the master and the law. In fact, this is called the master of the law. Law holds illusion. Love takes you beyond illusion. When God descends in human form, he controls the law and abides by them, but gives love to all. He is the master of the law, whereas you are the slaves of it. You are addicted to Maya, just as you are addicted to many things in illusion. may be able to overcome these addictions, but to break through the addiction to Maya requires the Master's grace.
I like the trumpet or whatever.
Yep, people like the trumpet. I'm not sure why, but that's actually that was recorded too on that same first album. You can find that. Want to hear it? It's a pretty good version of it on that. All right, let's see. Now, okay, now this one. This is also, I think, from could be from the Highest of the High message, and this is a powerful one. But what I did was I kind of made it into something that is just really fun for me to sing. It's kind of a more complicated, complex song, but that's how it came out, and I enjoy singing it. So see what you think. Let's see. Oh yeah. I titled this one "The First and Last Miracle." What I want to say is that by attributing these miracles, people make me very cheap. Oh, my status as the highest of the high. Da 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 But this I do say today, that the moment I break my silence and utter that original word, oh, the first and last miracle of Baba in this life will have been performed. The first and last miracle, hey, it will be a miracle as I have never performed. I will not raise the dead, but will make those who live for the world dead to the world and alive in God. I will not give sight to the blind, but will make those who see illusion blind to illusion, so that they can see God as the only reality. Reality. Yeah, but this I do say today, that the moment I break my silence and utter that original word, the first and last miracle of Baba in this life will have been performed. The first and last miracle miracle. Oh, it will be a miracle as I have never performed. I will not raise the dead, but will make those who live for the world dead to the world and alive in God. I will not give sight to the blind, but will make those who see illusion blind to illusion so that they can see God as the only reality. Reality.
Woo!
Almost got through that one.
That's nice.
That was a wild one. Okay, I got to take one more break here, and then I have to decide if my hands can handle the rest of it.
Ah,
I appreciate everybody listening up and coming here to be there for me to sing to. It's great. Appreciate it.
great of you to put out the energy, Ron.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm saving it up, but it's time to come out and there's I have I heard this and I took it up and I'm owning it. Four pursuits in life: learning, healing, growing, and contributing. So
Oh,
I guess maybe this is the well, it's probably all of them, but maybe I guess the contributing.
that's nice. It's easy too. Easy
Isn't
to
it?
remember. That's great.
Nice little thing. Okay, so another one from Steve, number 41. Let's see what he's got to say on this subject here. Okay. I think we can relate to this one. I think he wanted us to. So he goes, pity the movers and shakers of this world, the powerful and wealthy who seem to have their pick of whatever they want in life. Feel sorrow for the poor yogis, serenely sitting in their mountain caves, lost in ecstatic meditation, and for the denizens of the plains, traversing worlds of wonder, where the air is made of light, and the movement of the molecules creates a music so enchanting that a single note would drive an ordinary person mad. Have compassion on those unfortunate ones, so drenched in power that a glance of theirs can destroy a world. A simple gesture revivify the dead. On those few sad souls who behold the mind of God birthing untold universes with every passing thought.
Mm.
How can they understand how blessed we are to be in this world and suffer all its limitations in your service and by your side? What are pain, hunger, sorrow, exhaustion, thirst, or care to us when endured for your sake? We are aware of them, but pay them no attention. Others may know varying degrees of happiness or bliss, but they cannot know the anguished joy of a heart awakened in your love. We would not trade this life for any other, for the purpose of creation is only realized in serving you. Nor is there any heart in any heaven fulfilled like ours when we are able to bring a smile to your lips.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Okay,
That's
I'm going
Steve
to do
Klein.
another acapella. I'll do
Was
an
that
acapella. What?
was
Sorry.
that Steve Klein?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll do an acapella song here. Yeah, that one's too hard for me to do. Okay, I'm going to do this one. This one is from either Life at Its Best or Everything and the Nothing. I can't remember. Probably Life at Its Best. See how we do with this. It is impossible. It is impossible to receive undying life in the truth unless you surrender. Oh, whoops. I think I started too high. Yeah, that's too high. Let's see if I can move that down somewhere. It is impossible. It is impossible to receive undying life in the truth unless you surrender all resistance to it. Surrender all resistance to it. You cannot drag along. You cannot drag along the prejudices of the past, and yet hope to unfold divinity within. Unfold divinity within. You have to cut through the deposits of evolution and reincarnation and be completely receptive and susceptible to the lessons of life. If you meet life squarely, if you meet life squarely, accepting its opposites with equanimity, while carrying on your duties in a spirit of selfless love and service, you will not only come in tune with the infinite, but you yourself will become. You yourself will become. Oh, I don't know how to get that note. The infinite which you seek, the infinite which you seek. You have to cut through the deposits of evolution and reincarnation and be completely receptive and susceptible to the lessons of life. The lessons of life.
Very nice.
I'm not even sure if I can do those two. So I suppose we have a little time. Is anybody, Jim, you want to sing a song? Are you in a position? No. Anyhow,
I should tell you, Ron, I am recording, but I'm on my phone and my screen has gone blank. I'm crossing my fingers.
I see that.
Oh,
I see that you're frozen in that in your
yeah.
Hollywood
I'm
Square.
so pray for us. I hope we got this. It was
Oh,
fine
yeah.
until about
Yeah.
15 minutes ago. So
Yeah.
just so you know. Uh,
Okay. Well,
Ron, I have a question. Hi, Ron. This is Matt. What is you may have sung this song already because I was a little late, but what is your connection with the poetess Ross, Josephine
oh,
Ross?
mm.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Do you have any? What is your connection with the poet Josephine Ross?
Oh, Josephine Ross. Oh, yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, I appreciate that question because, at the beginning of this hopeful recording, hopefully it's recorded, I told a story about, my processes, the various processes that I've been through with regard to composing songs. And in 1976, I was really big on um, creating tunes and chord progressions, which then I would create a melody from. But I didn't really have I didn't have as many words or inspired to write as many words. So I was looking around for words and messages and things like that. And in '76, around Amartithi, Josephine Ross came to the center for the first time. And I went to the reading room and she recited several of her poems. And I was quite taken with them. I thought, oh my God. And I think Bob Brown had already composed a couple of them into songs that he had sung. Maybe even he had recorded them on a record. So after the meeting was over, I walked out and I wanted to approach her and ask her if I could get a copy of her book so that I could see if I could find something that would be something that I could work with and make a song. And so she had been reading from her book, and what I did was she said, "Oh, come with me." And Adele Walken was driving her back to the main part of the center from the reading room, and I got in the car, and I told her what I was up to, that I was looking for lyrics to songs, and maybe she was familiar with Bob's efforts in that respect. And so she wrote in her book, that I should hopefully find the music for these words, and she handed me the book.
Oh, wow.
I was shocked, especially when she said, I said, well, do you have another copy? She said, no, that's the only copy I have. I was blown away by that. But so after after that, I returned home, and I was quite excited that this had occurred, and I went to work looking for. Well, actually, my process was quite different than it was for these songs that I sang today. In these, I have a message, and then I create a tune for it. In the other, with Josephine's, I created tunes, and then I'd search around in the book for what fit it, the poem that would fit it. And I think, especially in the ones that I had recorded on Songs of a Modern Disciple, I think it worked out rather well. Now, there was other songs that I had also created that, they didn't make the cut on that recording, but they were pretty good. And that was a whole chapter in getting into. That was the first thing I had ever recorded professionally.
Why don't you do one for us?
In a studio. Is that kind of what you might have been looking for, Matt?
Oh, that was more than that was. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
In a good way. Thank you so much.
Long story.
Do one for us, will you?
Jim says sing one, Ron.
What's that?
Sing it.
Sing one
Jim,
of those?
yeah.
I guess I could do that.
Is it an album that you've made? Is that right?
Yeah, that one's also on SoundCloud.
Uh,
You go to SoundCloud, you can hear all those songs from Songs of a Modern Disciple. And those, I went all out on those with orchestration and everything. It's very listenable. All right, I'll try. This is the one I mainly offer up. I'll try it. See if I can do this one. Wait a minute. I think I might be out of tune here. Not too bad. To see the oak leaves, bronze and dry, outlined against a clear blue sky. To see the sun light up a pine is to behold an art divine. Why is it we are not enchanted? How can we take such things for granted? To build a home upon the earth, to know the miracle of birth. Oh, to feel the pulse of spring returning, or watch an autumn bonfire burning. Oh, why do we seek elsewhere our heaven, when all these gifts are freely given? Oh, 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 la da 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 da. The book of God is all around us. The beauties of His world surround us. To him who has the eyes to read, all truth is found within the seed, and in the form of bird or flower there stands revealed the eternal power to build a home upon the earth, to know the miracle of birth. Oh, feel the pulse of spring returning, or watch an autumn bonfire burning. Oh, why do we seek elsewhere our heaven, when all these gifts are freely given? Whoa.
Gee, Baba.
That one's called Wisdom.
Wow,
That's what
that was
most
wonderful.
things called it.
Wow.
Fabulous message.
Ron, you could do a whole nother hour, another time with just from that disc, from that concept.
Yeah, I think what I want to do, if this one, I hope this one comes out. If this one comes out, I want to go back and redo the one that I tried before, because those
Okay.
songs are some of my favorite ones too. I mean, I've done like 100 of these songs, approximately, maybe 90 to
Wow.
100 songs, and
Wow.
probably about 50 of them I sing pretty often. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, and there's some that I rarely sing. Um, but yeah, I definitely would like to do more, especially, depending on what kind of feedback there is and if it if it's working out uh, in the recording.
That was lovely.
Ron,
Look,
these are great songs. You don't need to worry about feedback. You just need to keep singing them.
Well, I got your feedback. I mean, because you got some great songs, and you've been writing them as long, even longer than me. Not that much longer, but and and so I appreciate that comment. And
You don't need to doubt the quality of these songs. You just need to
I don't. I really
just
don't.
need to sing them. That's all.
I don't. I'm thrilled to have this to say. I'm thrilled. Really,
this
such
is this is the contribute part of the four. Yeah, we'd love more, Ron, from you. And I promise you, we'll record on a real computer next time.
next time I hope to have a professional microphone, which may
Ah,
could improve the whole thing. Uh, some somebody's turning me on to a professional microphone to maybe do some
mm,
podcasts or something like that. But certainly it could be used
mm.
to enhance my singing and playing, whatever, um, or something like that, with a little earphones to hear you know, what it sounds like and stuff. I think that could be cool.
Listen, it sounds great right now.
Does it? I'm glad. I'm
Ditto,
glad it
ditto.
does.
It's
Yes,
not about
absolutely.
sound quality, it's about heart quality.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh well, there you go. Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, and it's funny when I did that album for Songs of a Modern Disciple. I went into the studio, and this guy had these various machines. This was before digital. Well, he didn't have anything digital there. It was all, cut the cut and paste the tapes together and stuff like that.
yeah.
But one thing he did have, he had this little machine, and he said this was the talent booster. He had a talent booster, so he said, "Here, I'll adjust the talent booster. Don't worry."
Sounds like hokum. Oh no.
Well, Happy New Year to one and all,
Oh,
and let's see what happens
Yeah.
in
you too, Ron.
2025, and be with Baba throughout it, more and more, nice and clear. Vision with Baba, with in the background all the chaos and confusion.
Yeah.
uh,
Oh, this has been great. Hard quality, Jim's absolutely right. This has been, oh, and more to come. Yay.
yeah, and
Wonderful.
again, for the people that may listen to this on the recording, hopefully there will be.
Fingers
Take
crossed.
advantage if you want a song to walk around with during the day, or when you're sitting around, you want to put Baba's thought. You don't need a book. You could just sing the song. That's what I've been doing for over 20 years. I'll just all right. I have nothing else better to think of, so I'm going to think of something that Baba said and sing it to myself. So you might be able to do that either through this recording or the the recording that's on the SoundCloud, or if you can track down the other recording that I did called "Conquer Yourself." It's on CD. I don't know if anybody's got any more CDs left, but you can partner with somebody that does.
I think I have one
Yeah.
of yours. Yeah. Didn't you also do Maud Kennedy's poetry? Am I right?
No, but David
No.
Bianchi did.
Oh, okay.
David
Okay,
used to
so
sing.
all right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ron.
You're right.
You're
This
welcome.
was
Jay Baba Ron.
fabulous. This is
Everybody,
wonderful.
thanks for coming.
Excellent.
Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Of course.
Ron.
Jay Baba.
Relax those hands. Okay, and I'll pray over this recording. I'll let you know.
All right, let's cross my fingers.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
the worst that could happen is you'll just have to do it over again.
Well,
Yeah.
this
You
is
know,
the redo.
what, I mean, you just do it again and again and again and again. And maybe
I
that's
really-
why
I
Baba
really
is
felt- I felt pretty strong this time and the last time too.
real good, real good.
I was kind of like, this is a good time for me in the morning, you know. Still have a little caffeine running through my veins.
Hey, Pammy, let's Zoom right now, okay?
Okay.
Oh,
All right. Jay Baba, everybody.
okay.
Baba.
Jay Baba.
Jay
Good.
Baba, folks. Jay Baba, Ron, thank you so much. Happy New Year. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you
Try
for,
and end it.
thanks
Okay.
for hosting.
Yeah. Jay Baba.
Baba.
Bye-bye.
Bye.